Have you ever felt that quiet ache when someone goes silent and you're left wondering what their silence really means? Or caught yourself overanalyzing a text, searching for clues in what they said or didn't say, wondering if they ever cared at all? But here's the twist. What if the answers you're looking for aren't out there in them, but already within you? Carl Jung, one of the most insightful minds in modern psychology, believed that your unconscious mind knows far more than you think. Not only does it hold hidden truths, but it's constantly trying to speak to you, especially when something feels off. In this video, we're going to explore the subtle yet powerful signs that someone genuinely cares, even when they're pulling away. More importantly, we'll learn how to reconnect with the clearest voice you've always had, your own. So stay with me, because by the end of this journey, you won't just see them more clearly. You'll see yourself in a way you may never have before. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to the Daily Stoic and join our Telegram community, where we share early access to transformative insights on personal growth, spiritual wisdom, and life's deeper truths. Carl Jung once said that inside each of us lives a vast, complex world, the unconscious. But this isn't just a dusty attic of forgotten memories. It's a living, breathing intelligence, a quiet, sacred force that warns us, guides us, and often tells us the truth, long before our conscious mind can catch up. But here's the problem. We live in a noisy world. From idealized love stories to constant pressure to be enough, we've been trained to ignore that inner voice. So when someone we care about starts to pull away, we don't listen inward, we look outward. We scroll through old messages, we replay conversations, we chase explanations, but those small sensations, the tension in your chest, the still emptiness when they don't reply, the quiet feeling that something isn't right, those aren't dramatic overreactions, they're messages. Your unconscious is speaking in its own language, asking you not to focus on their words, but on your truth. Jung described the unconscious as a psychic compass, silent but precise. It reveals truth through gut instincts, symbolic dreams, flashes of emotion, or what he called active imagination. These aren't random feelings, they're insights, signals from deep within. What makes this powerful is that while the conscious mind is influenced by ego, fear, and social expectations, the unconscious doesn't care about appearances. It's immune to performance. It doesn't care what's polite or what you wish were true. It only reflects what is. So, when someone's absence hurts in a way that doesn't match the story you've been telling yourself, it's likely because your unconscious has already sensed the truth. And while your mind is trying to protect you with rationalizations, your body knows better. That's where the inner conflict begins, between what you feel and what you're trying to believe, and your body becomes the battleground for that tension. Healing doesn't begin by thinking harder, it begins by listening deeper. When you feel anxious, abandoned, or not enough after someone distances themselves, Jung wouldn't tell you to analyze them. He'd guide you inward, toward your shadow. The shadow is the hidden part of you, made of unspoken fears, unmet needs, and emotional wounds you've long buried. But it's not your enemy, it's your mirror. When you say, they don't care, sometimes that voice is actually echoing an even deeper belief. I don't believe I'm worthy of being cared for. The shadow's power isn't in its darkness, but in the invitation it offers. To sit with it, to face it, to understand it. Jung saw the shadow as a sacred teacher, one that shows you why you keep reaching for people who can't meet you. And gently, it asks you, what if you stopped reaching for them and started reaching for yourself? That's how true self-recognition begins, not by begging to be seen by someone else, but by choosing, sometimes for the very first time, to see yourself. And here's the paradox Jung would want you to embrace. The moment you face your shadow is the moment you begin to reclaim your power. Because when you finally understand that the ache isn't really about them, but about something unresolved in you, you step out of the endless cycle of waiting, proving, or chasing. You realize their withdrawal doesn't define your value. It reveals an opportunity. In the quiet space they leave behind, the question begins to shift. Not why did they leave, but what part of me felt abandoned long before they even arrived. And that shift changes everything, because now you're ready to step into the next layer of truth. The truth about what distance really reveals, not just about them, but about the relationship itself. In the last part, we explored how emotional distance can awaken something powerful within you, not just questions about them, but revelations about yourself. Now let's look even deeper. One of the clearest ways to sense whether someone truly cares isn't found in their words, it's in how their presence or their absence affects your energy. Carl Jung believed that emotions aren't distractions, they're signals. So ask yourself, when they're gone, do you collapse into doubt, anxiety, or emptiness? Or do you still breathe freely, still feel grounded, still feel whole? There's a difference between someone needing space and someone creating confusion. When their distance leaves you feeling invisible, emotionally starved, or energetically drained, your unconscious is speaking up. It's trying to tell you this is not connection. This is dissonance. Something is misaligned. Because real care doesn't leave you guessing, it doesn't exhaust you, and it certainly doesn't reappear the moment you begin to regain balance, just to throw you off again. That's not support, that's emotional disruption. Still, it's important to understand that distance doesn't always mean disinterest. Sometimes it reflects where each person is in their own journey. If someone returns with presence, with intention, with respect for your inner peace, that's a sign of genuine care. But if their return feels like a disturbance, like you're being pulled out of alignment again, your body knows the truth before your mind catches up. That's not love. That's a pattern, a cycle. And this is where discernment becomes your greatest ally. Because the deeper question isn't just do they care? It's what does their care do to me? Love that's real doesn't destabilize your nervous system. It doesn't require you to abandon your inner peace just to stay connected. As Jung would say, if a relationship pulls you away from your center, it's not soul aligned, it's survival based. And surviving is not the same as living. So if you start to feel your energy coming back, your clarity returning in their absence, that's not loneliness, that's information. It's your inner world quietly remembering itself. And from that place of reconnection, you're finally able to make the most powerful choice, not whether they return, but whether you do. Whether you return to yourself, return to your truth, return to your worth, return to the version of you that doesn't need to be chosen because you've already chosen you. Um, if this message is resonating with you so far, I want to thank you for being here. Please consider sharing this video with someone who might need it. And if you'd like to support this work, you can click the thanks button just below. It truly means a lot to us. At the heart of Jung's teaching is this: wholeness doesn't come from being chosen. It comes from choosing yourself, the truest sign that someone really cares. Um, it's that their absence doesn't make you forget who you are. And the most loving act you can offer yourself, walking away from what hurts, even if some part of you still wants to hold on. And here's where projection comes in. Often when we become obsessed with someone's distance, we're not even seeing them. We're seeing ourselves through the lens of old pain, wounds from the past, stories we haven't rewritten yet. But this reflection, painful as it may be, can set you free. What hurts you about them? That's pointing to something you still need to heal or reclaim within yourself. And what draws you to them? Their strength, confidence, calm presence. Those are qualities you already carry. They're not foreign. They're just waiting to be reawakened in you. Jung said, who looks outside, who looks inside, awakens. And when you finally awaken to your own worth, you stop begging for love. You become it. You radiate it. And you naturally attract only what recognizes and respects it. So if someone pulls away and you remain steady, peaceful, and connected to your truth, that's not rejection, that's recognition. That's your growth speaking for itself. That's the evidence that you're no longer chasing connection. You're creating it from within. The moment you choose yourself fully, everything shifts. Not because the world changes, but because your standards, your perception, your energy, they evolve. Jung believed that once you integrate your shadow and begin listening to your unconscious, you stop relating from a place of emptiness. You start showing up from a place of wholeness. And that's when the real transformation happens. You stop asking, why didn't they choose me? And start asking, why was I waiting to be chosen at all? Because when you become the source of your own love, someone pulling away doesn't leave you starving. It leaves you clear. It leaves you intact. You no longer interpret silence as abandonment, but as feedback. And that is the deepest turning point. the love you once searched for in them, it becomes the love you now embody. This isn't about ego, this is healing. And healing prepares you for the most important question of all, one that has nothing to do with them and everything to do with you. So, does their distance mean they don't care? Not necessarily. But the more important question is, what is their distance revealing about you? If their silence leaves you feeling hollow, maybe your soul is asking for more than they're able to give. But if their absence brings clarity, if it sharpens your center and strengthens your peace, that's a sign, not of their love, but of your growth. Because this journey was never just about understanding them. It's always been about remembering you. And you, yes, you are not here to chase love. You're here to embody it, to radiate it, to be so grounded in your own worth that anyone who enters your world instantly understands it's a privilege to stay.